It began earlier today. I started to feel something is coming, like the phrase, something wicked this way comes, and just an intensity of ferocity. And then I got a sense of the purge, and I'm having the usual experience of being tested by spirits, and so I'm initially taking this as just me going through my own inner purge, my inner house. What kind of spirits have I allowed to occupy within me? There's a purge coming for them, and so that's how I normally would interpret it. Then I understood that there was an angelic presence near me, and it was conveying to me that no, tonight is, because the phrase had come to me surrounding the encampment of the holy ones, and the understanding was conveyed to me that what happens tonight determines whether you're destined for the kingdom of heaven or you've been won to the side of the kingdom of Satan, hell, and all of that. Oops. Let's see if there's anything else of note. So, the encampment of the holy ones. Okay, so what happens next? So this is going on in the heavens, in the spirits. And human spirits are involved because obviously I'm sharing this with you, how I'm involved. And so there's going to come bad things all across the earth, like the movie titles, The Purge, Something Wicked This Way Comes. I never saw that movie. I don't know what it's about, but it's a phrase that sticks in my head, and it sounds like the same kind of thing, something coming in. And Stephen King's Dreamcatcher just popped into my head. But also The Storm, the Stephen King story about a storm that comes isolating an island town, and a spirit that looks like a man comes, knows all their evils and all their secrets, and then the one man who did not have any secrets, it's him, his wife, and his child. The deal is, if the town agrees to let this spirit take a child as his own son, because he's coming to an end, and he wants another being, somebody to carry on in his place, and so he wants to raise and train this child to take his place. And because all of the town members, except for this one guy who's been helping everybody respects him, loves him, he works for the police department, fire department, emergency services, whatever. He's like that guy who plays those roles. And all the children are in a trance with their, being threatened by the spirit, and the spirit is revealing to each townsperson, the abandoning of a mother in a nursing home, affairs, murders, lies, embezzling, all of that. And they all realize that they're all guilty, except for this one guy. And so they all vote together that the child that would be sacrificed would be that of that one guy. So, know who you're hanging out with, man. Because if a storm comes, and then there were suggestions, like just a sense of, and I asked, is that like the 3 days of darkness thing, where don't open your doors, don't open your windows, like cover every entrance, every hole that leads to the outside, have 3 days worth of water, and light only white candles, because for 3 days it will be completely dark. And purge. If you open your door, nobody's, like the mimics, the evil demon spirits, you see people make videos about seeing them. I don't watch them because they're real. And I don't want to invite them into my experience. They'll mimic somebody you love, your skinwalkers. They'll be passing by the windows and doors, sounding like your loved ones, your favorite pets, somebody who passed away, your spouse that was down the road or at work when it became dark and you closed the door and didn't dare open the windows. It's not them. It's not them. If you get scared and try and leave because of the voices and the noises you hear outside, don't, because you'll be gone. You'll be destroyed right there. Like, every manner of beast and every devouring thing will be running rampant during that time. So I wondered if, like, that's what's coming. But, of course, I immediately repented, because the whole reason I didn't become prophetic from heaven, the highest heavens, was because I didn't want to know about angels. I didn't want to know about all of that. I wanted to know how to help people on earth right here, right now. And I didn't think, like, which angel did what mattered, because they all do it in the name of our Creator anyways. So you're not going to pray to them. I don't need to know all the organization and what it looks like up there and what's going on up there, when I have children and loved ones in a community that I want to help live happier, more fulfilling lives, more of a sense of security here and now. So I'm repenting for that. And then I'm understanding that that's associated with, thus connected with, saying heaven has no business interfering on earth. This is man's realm. And so I have to repent for the association of that, the sins that I've committed because of the association with these spirits, these concepts. Repent for the sins committed because of your association with it, that you caused other people to commit because of your association with it, all the way back down to the beginning, in the entirety of the present, and throughout the future, until the conclusion of all these things. And in the name of the Messiah, and however you choose to finish your prayer. Like, I'm doing that. I'm being prepared. And I understand that I'm not alone in this battle. And because I gave my will over to our Creator, if I start to falter, there is permission for a righteous one representing our Creator to step in, take the driver's wheel, the steering wheel. You know, people like to walk around saying so-and-so take the wheel, but it's that Greek triune deity. I just don't want to say it. So I basically gave our Creator permission to take the steering wheel. And he sends people who work on his behalf, the angels that work on his behalf, and they have permission to take over my presence if I begin to falter. So I'm not alone, and any spirit that comes at me may not be facing me when they arrive. You know, the Father could be checking all my closets for cobwebs and sent me on a vacation to some wild place while he does an inspection of my house, and oh, they assaulted while he's occupying. They're fighting him now, not me. Poor timing, dear, poor timing. So you get a sense of what's going on here and how I'm handling it. So, yeah, just next pandemic level event, whatever it is, purging, like racist killings and stuff like that, all the different ways, the next round of that, we'll know which earthly vessels have been won and lost, to what, by what means, and to whom, which side, to the kingdom of heaven or to the kingdom of Mr. Satan. And if it's past tonight, everything's happened, you remember that when the date on this video happened is posted, that somebody did ask you something and you just didn't have the patience that you would have if you had just come out of praying or something, like something you would have said on a bad day, but it's stuck in something. People who have they're already Satans, okay? They're just scrolling through TikTok constantly, doing their socializing, whatever. They're already. But those who are anywhere near or within the encampment of the righteous, if their spirits are associated with it in any way. So, for example, your churches and stuff that may be living, trying to practice Torah, going back to those ways and learning about them, they're going to be sifted big time. And so it's just like in the book of Revelation, the message is spoken to the spirits of the 7 congregations, the 7 lampstands. I hold this against you, I hold that against you. And so they're showing themselves to be on the side opposite of what they claim. And then there are people who just go blissfully through life just ignorant and don't care. They're quiet, hardly ever talk to anybody, and not particularly spiritual, but something will pop out of their mouth at that day, like, yeah, I don't know why I said that. That was really weird. So you might have had that experience, and like somebody might come to you, is like, oh, it was really weird. I had this experience, and it just sticking in my head. Like, what do you think that means? That was them being one for the Father's side. So this is what you can come to expect and experiences at this point in time. And again, the consequences are what happens during the next round of trauma that visits the earth. There's usually specific times of the year, like the fall. So the next feast would be Purim. that I'm aware of. So something associated with that. Well, yeah, that's the command has gone forth. The lots have been cast. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, chills just went up through. Oh, okay, this is what's happening. This event, there's going to be, the lots are being cast, and it's going to be determined who amongst Israel, the encampment of the holy ones, their vessels on earth, the human beings that they're responsible for, mankind, that they are. So, for example, my spirit is involved in this. But if I had a congregation, a family, a neighborhood, like any soul that I'm responsible for spiritually, what I do today decides for them. Because they identify as mine, give me authority over them. If I fall, they all get dragged down as well. And then for all of them, it is a fight for their lives during that next trauma session. So what happens during this event up in heaven will determine who's going to go through the coming tribulation. I'm not saying the great tribulation. I'm saying the next tribulation. And it will be during that tribulation that their righteousness will show or not show. And whether or not they survive it. Like they live through it. They could die a martyr rather than die and go to hell, or live and be part of a false congregation, a fake, Satan's version of one, the pretend one. And they'll just be misled further into darkness. They'll just get darker and darker. Whereas the holy ones will become lighter and lighter. Their understanding will increase. Their blessings will increase, and all of that. So there are those that will not have to go through it, because our vessels are winning tonight, if our Creator wills it. And then there are those that are going to have to go through the tribulation, the testing, because they chose to have a head over them to represent them, to feed them spiritually. So your elders, your priests, your chaplains, your overseers, your husbands, if you are a wife, your parents, if you are a child, that kind of thing. And the age of accountability is 14 years old. I learned that today, reading the writings of Abraham. Oh, I learned a lot of things reading that. Oh, they keep so much from us, and that is our Creator's will, because not everybody should be initiated into these things, because then they go use the knowledge twisted to do evil things. Ta-da! Okay. Yeah, to them. So that's what's going on. The surrounding of the encampment of the holy ones.